take a quick look around, you'll know exactly where we are. We are at the Granite Bowl in Elberton, Georgia. The Region 8 Sports Report is coming up. I'm Buddy Hardigree with the Region 8 Sports Report coming to you from Elberton, Georgia, the Granite Bowl, the historic Granite Bowl. A lot of games have been played here over the years, and another one is about to be played here tonight as the Jefferson Dragons travel to Elberton to take on the Elbert County Blue Devils. Both teams are undefeated, and we'll have the highlights from that game coming up for you in just a few minutes. Also tonight we have all the scores from all around the region in 8 single A all the way up to 8 6A. And we'll take a look at the standings to see how things are stacking up as we get ever closer to the playoffs. After this week, we only have about 4, maybe 5 more weeks to go until the playoffs. So things are going to start getting dicey here in Region 8. But we've got all the scores for you. We've got the standings for you. And then we'll have a list of the games to be played next Friday night in Region 8. But right now, let's roll the highlights of the Elbert County Jefferson football game played last Friday night. This week's game is the Jefferson Dragons at Elbert County Blue Devils. Jefferson kicked off to Elbert County to start the game. Jason Bowman returned the kick back to the 34-yard line where Elbert County would go on offense. Quarterback Nicole Hardman has a keeper for 12 yards to start things off. Then Hardman passes to Tay Huff for 14 yards to the 38-yard line of Jefferson. Then Hardman another keeper for a 35-yard touchdown. Looks good on film. Unfortunately, there was a yellow flag, and the play was called back, and Elbert County had to punt. So Jefferson goes on offense now. Colby Woods gains 8 yards to the 41-yard line. Then quarterback Bryce Moore passes to Darian Hill for a 15-yard gain to the Elbert County 45. And the quarter comes to an end right there with no score, but Jefferson is driving. Colby Woods rips a 26-yard run for a touchdown. The extra point is good. And Jefferson leads Elbert County by a score of 7-0 with 10:34 to go in the first half. Elbert County on the comeback. Quarterback Nicole Hardman runs for 21 yards to the Jefferson 49. But some bad luck backs Elbert County up to their own 30. So Nicole Hardman hits Tay Huff for a 22-yard pass, but it's still not enough for an Elbert County first down. And Jefferson takes over. Bryce Moore hits Colby Woods for a 21-yard pass and a first down. Colby Woods also runs the ball for the 26 yards to another first down. And a few plays later, Colby Woods carries it into the end zone from the 1-yard line. The extra point attempt is good, and Jefferson leads by a score of 14-0 over Elbert County. And that's the way the first half would come to an end. So we go to the third quarter, and Colby Woods rips a 12-yard run, and Jefferson is moving the ball again. Colby Woods again for 16 yards down to the 13-yard line. Then from the 13-yard line gets down to the 6-yard line. And one more carry to make it into the end zone. Jefferson is now up by a score of 21-0 late in the third quarter as the extra point is good. And Elbert County goes back on offense. Trey Barnett goes for 18 yards. Gets down into the 36-yard line. Then McCole Hardman on the quarterback keeper down to the 31-yard line. And the quarter comes to an end right there with your score Jefferson 21, Elbert County nothing. So we start the fourth quarter. McCole Hardman takes it in for the score. The 2-point conversion is good as McCole Hardman outruns everybody to the corner of the end zone for the extra 2 points. And the score is Jefferson 21, Elbert County 8. Jefferson back on offense now. Colby Woods takes it for 14 yards. Then Woods on another carry down to the 26-yard line. And then Woods one more time into the end zone from the 10-yard line for a 10-yard run and another Jefferson touchdown. This time, though, the PAT is no good, and Jefferson leads by a score of 27-8, and that's the way the game would end right there. Next week, Elbert County will host Jackson County, and Morgan County will visit Jefferson in Jefferson. Okay, there's the highlights from the Jefferson and Elbert County football game. A good game it was. I'm assuming it's a good game. I'm taping this again before the game is played, but I'm ready for the game anyway, but you just saw the highlights, so hopefully it was a good game. Moving along now, it's time to take a look at the scores from the rest of the games that were played in the Region 8. We're going to take a look at those scores right after we take this break, and we'll be back with more from the Region 8 Sports Report right after this. Welcome back to the Granite Bowl in Elberton, Georgia. Well, it is time now to take a look at all the scores from all the games all around the region in 8 single A all the way up to 8 6A, and we've got those scores for you right now. Time to take a look at all the scores from all the games in Region 8 that were played last Friday night, and we'll start with Region 8 6A. That's Region 8 6A to start things off. And it was Archer easily over Berkmar by a score of 49-0 last Friday night. Brookwood scored 7 in the first half, and Shiloh tied the game in the third quarter at 7-7. Neither team could score in the fourth quarter, so overtime. On the first play of overtime, Brookwood scored a touchdown. Shiloh failed to score on their possession, so Brookwood wins 14-7 in overtime. Central Gwinnett over Decula by a score of 25-6. Cameron Brent ran for 171 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quarterback Chase Bryce ran for 1 touchdown and threw a 17-yard pass for another. Austin Nash on the receiving end of that pass, by the way. Ernest Tiller ran for 71 yards and 1 touchdown, and Grayson defeated South Gwinnett by a score of 34-0. Moving to Region 8 5A. Loganville defeated Appalachia by a score of 38-0. It was Cedar Shoals over Heritage by a score of 20-3. Brock Landis scored 2 touchdowns and got 194 yards total offense. Javon Hughes had 27 rushes for 125 yards, and the Bulldogs D got 5 Flowery Branch turnovers, and Whitebara defeats the Flowery Branch Falcons by a score of 24-17. Messiah Dorsey threw 2 touchdown passes and ran for 1 as Gainesville defeated Salem 34-6. Defensively, Chris Lyles and Camden Young had interceptions for Gainesville. Again, the score final was Gainesville 34, Salem 6. Moving to Region 8 4A. Buford shut out Chestatee in a big way, 56-0. Bit of a one-sided score there. Madison County got off to a good start, leading White County 11-0 in the second quarter. Then White County got things on the ball with a 67-yard touchdown pass caught by Nasser Clark to make the score 11-6 after they missed the PAT. Clark scored a second touchdown later on, and the game went on to a final score of White County 26, Madison County 11. Stevens County picked off 4 Monroe area passes to lead the Indians to a 29-6 win over the Purple Hurricanes. Quarterback Jackson Madonna was 2 out of 4 passing for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Trojans got 111 yards rushing, and the place kicker Chris Dennis got 3 field goals, 23 yards, 22 yards, and 26 yards, and North Hall defeated North Oconee by a score of 31-0. Moving along to Region 8 3A. It was Morgan County over East Jackson by a score of 37-7. Jefferson defeated Elbert County, the game that you just saw the highlights of a few minutes ago here. Jefferson won that game 27-8. Oconee County defeated Jackson County by a score of 29-0. Moving now to Region 8 2A, Washington Wilkes and Greene County. Washington Wilkes a winner by a score of 19-12 in a close one there. Union County and Oglethorpe County in a not-so-close one. Union County won by a score of 41-6. Raven County put 21 points on the board in the first quarter with big plays. Eli Gibson had a 66-yard run, Charlie Warner had a 68-yard run, and quarterback Bailey Fisher hit Cal Drummond on a 27-yard pass. Raven County's defense kept Social Circle scoreless all night. The final score, Raven County 44, Social Circle nothing. Riverside Military Academy over Strong Rock Christian by a score of 21-7. Now moving along to Region 8 Single A. Athens Academy over Towns County 36-7. It was Athens Christian over Providence Christian by a score of 51-13. Kevin Hudson scored 2 touchdowns. Noah Campbell scored 1 on a 76-yard run. And quarterback Grant Rowland hit Jordan Hightower for a 36-yard touchdown pass as Prince Avenue wins by a score of 35-14 over Commerce. And it was Hebron Christian over Lakeview Academy by a score of 21-0. All right, so there you have the scores from all the games that were played last Friday night in Region 8. And it's time now to take a look at the standings. And things are going to start getting a little dicey here now as we get ever closer to the playoffs. And these standings are going to be very important as we go into the playoffs. Now, keep in mind that the overall record is only in a tiebreaker situation, which you need that. The region record is the one we have to look for. So let's look at the region records and the overall records from everybody in Region 8. Time to look at the standings for Region 8A all the way up through 8-6A, and we're going to start with Region 8-6A, and we see that we still have a couple of undefeated teams at the top of the region there, at least as far as the region matchups concerned. Grayson leads the way. They are 4-0 in the region and 6-0 overall. They are undefeated. Central Gwinnett is 4-1 in the overall category. They are still undefeated in the region, 3-0 in the region. Tequila 3-1, 4-2 overall. Brookwood also 3-1, 3-3 overall. Parkview is 1-2 in the region, 3-2 overall. Archer is 2-1 in the region, 4-1 overall. South Gwinnett 0-4, 1-5 overall. 0-3 is Shiloh, 1-5 overall. And at the bottom is Berkmar, 0-4 in the region and 0-6 overall. So we see that Grayson and Central Gwinnett still at the top of the region, undefeated. And those two are going to be meeting up pretty soon. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the schedule and see when those two are going to clash. But that should be a very interesting event. Moving to Region 8-5A. In 8-5A, we have Lanier all alone at the top. Well, no, not really all alone, because they are at 4-0, and Gainesville is also at 4-0 in the region. Now, they are alone at the top overall with a 5-0 overall record to 4-1 for Gainesville. Loganville at 4-1, 5-1 overall. Winder Barrow is at 3-2, 3 wins, 2 losses in the region, and 3-3 overall. Salem is 3-2 in the region, 4-2 overall. Clark Central at 2-2, 2-3 overall. Flowery Branch is also, well, they're 2-3 in the region, 3-3 overall. Cedar Shoals is 1-3 in the region, 1-4 overall. And Appalachia and Heritage 0-5 in the region and 0-6 overall. So we see at the top here we have Lanier with a 4-0 record, and Gainesville also at 4-0, and those two are meeting very soon. That's going to be an interesting game there. Moving along and now to 8-4A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's 4 A's. We see Buford is at top with 2-0. Also Stevens County at 2-0, and Johnson at 2-0 as well in the region records. Of course, Buford 4-1 overall. Stevens County also 4-1 overall, and Johnson is 2-3 overall. But as I said, they're 2-0 in region play. Monroe area 2-1, 2-3 overall. North Hall 1-1, 2-3 overall. North Oconee also 1-1, 2-3 overall. White County at 1-1, 1-4 overall. Madison County 1-2, 1-4 overall. And Chestatee 0-2 in the region and 0-5 overall. So you see Buford, Stevens County, and Johnson tied for the region standings there with 2-0 records. So we'll have to figure out how to get those 3 sorted out there in the next 4 weeks. So the playoffs will start without a hitch. Moving to 8 AAA now. Jefferson 2-0 overall, 6-0 on the 2-0 in the region, 6-0 overall. Oconee County 2-0 overall are in the region and 5-1 overall. So Oconee and Jefferson are tied for first in the region. Morgan County 1-0, so they're still undefeated, no losses. 1-0 overall in the region, 3-2 overall. Elbert County 1-1 now after the loss to Jefferson. They are 5-1 overall. Hart County 0-1, they are 3-2 overall. And Jackson County and East Jackson both at 0-2 in the region, 3-3 overall for Jackson and 1-5 for East Jackson. So we see that Jefferson and Oconee are tied at 2-0, and Morgan County's right in there with them because they are undefeated as well. Only have 1 win, but they have no losses in the region as well. But Morgan County has a big game coming up with Jefferson coming up this weekend, so there'll be some changes in that lineup next week. Moving along to 8 AA now, we see that Union County 2-0, undefeated. Raven County also 2-0, they're undefeated. Washington Wilkes at 1-0, undefeated. So they're basically all tied for first in the region. Union County 6-0 overall. Raven County 5-1. Their only loss coming to Jefferson. Washington Wilkes at 1-4. So they have not won any non-region games. Their 1 win was a region game. Interesting. Greene County is at 1-1, 3-3 overall. Riverside Military Academy 0-1, 1-4 overall. Social Circle 0-2, 2-3 overall. Oglethorpe County at 0-4, and no games played in the region as yet. So we see that we've got Union County 2-0 and Raven County 2-0 and Washington Wilkes 1-0, all undefeated in Region 8 AA. All right, Region 8 Single A. Prince Avenue is on top as Athens Academy is very close right behind them there. Neither of those teams with a loss in the region. Prince Avenue at 4-0, 5-0 overall. Athens Academy at 3-0 and 5-0 overall. George Walton Academy 2-1, 2-3 overall. Commerce is at 2-2, 3-3 overall. Hebron Christian is at 2-2. They are 3-3 overall. And Lakeview Academy at 1-2 in the region and 2-3 overall. Athens Christian 1-3, 2-4 overall. Towns County at 0-4, 1-5 overall, and Providence is at 0-3 in the region and 0-5 overall. So we see that Prince Avenue and Athens Academy each without a loss in region play, and they are at the top of the leaderboard. And that gets you up to date on the standings in all of the regions, 8A through 8-6A. All right, we've seen highlights, we've seen scores, we've seen the standings. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the list of the games that are going to be played this coming Friday night in Region 8. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of the Region 8 Sports Report right after this. Welcome back to the Region 8 Sports Report. A half an hour with us every week, and you are up to date on what's going on in the world of sports in Region 8. All right, we've got to look at the schedules from the games that are coming up. We've got some really interesting games coming up and some playoff potentially involved games here. A lot of region games going on in Region 8, and it should be kind of interesting to see what happens this weekend. But here's a list of the games that are coming up this weekend in Region 8. And it's time to take a look at the game scheduled for this Friday in high school football in Region 8, starting with 8-6A. We see that South Gwinnett will be traveling down to Archer to play Archer this weekend. Berkmar will be at Parkview. Central Gwinnett will take on Brookwood, and Shiloh will be at Grayson. Those are the games of 8-6A. Moving to 8-5A, Cedar Shoals will be taking on Loganville Red Devils coming up this Friday night. Flowery Branch will travel over to Clark Central. Flowery Branch coming off a loss to Winder Barrow last week. Lanier will be at Gainesville. Winder Barrow and Appalachia are taking the weekend off this weekend. Looking at the games in Region 8-4A, Buford will be at North Hall. Madison County will travel over to Chestatee.
Johnson will be at Osborne playing a non-region game. North Oconee will be at Monroe area, and Stevens County will be at White County. In 8-3A, East Jackson will travel over to Hart County to take on the Bulldogs. Jackson County will be at the Elbert County Blue Devils for a matchup with the Blue Devils. That's going to be interesting. Morgan County will be at Jefferson. Moving along to 8-2A, Greene County will travel up to Union County. Rabun County will be at Oglethorpe County to take on the Patriots. Riverside Military Academy will be at Washington Wilkes, and Crawford County will take on Social Circle. Moving along to 8-1A, Athens Academy will be at Prince Avenue. Athens Christian will be taking on Towns County. George Walton Academy will be at Lakeview Academy, and Hebron Christian will be at Providence. So that gets you up to date on all the schedules of all the games coming up this Friday night, and we're looking forward to some more good football action on Friday night in Region 8. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we will wrap it up for you for this week. Right after this, we'll be back with more on the Region 8 Sports Report.
Okay, we'll get you up to date with the highlights, with the scores, with the standings, with the schedule coming up for this weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend. Get out and support a high school football team in your area. Go team, whoever they happen to be, your favorite team, insert team here. All right, get out and support the high school football programs, and we will see you next week on the Region 8 Sports Report.
Oh, by the way, remember, if you have any questions or comments concerning the program, then by all means let us know. We'll be glad to answer your questions and listen to your comments. If you need to make contact with us, the way to do so is by email. It's av1productions30680@gmail.com. Once again, that's av1productions30680@gmail.com. And of course, there's the regular U.S. mail. You can send any comments to us at AV1 Productions, 1021 Jefferson Highway, Winder, Georgia 30680. Once again, that's AV1 Productions, 1021 Jefferson Highway, Winder, Georgia 30680.